Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers have got the job done in the Scottish Cup, which was obviously the main thing. Obviously, before that, we get a massive result against Aberdeen, which seen as obviously go joint and talk until Celtic played Hibs and got that penalty in the last minute, which sees them go three ahead again. But we've obviously got that game in hand, which is coming up on Wednesday. So we'll talk through the Ayr game first, our thoughts on that, and then obviously we'll talk about the Ross County game going into that one, which realistically, if a lot of people would maybe look at it and be like it's Ross County, but this is that part of the season where you can't take any game for granted, really. It's all going to be their own kind of challenge, especially, I mean, Ayr even was as well. So if you do enjoy the podcast, if you could like, subscribe, and share. And we'll go on to Ayr first then. Obviously, bit of a weird one, 5:30 on Saturday. It's kind of my own routine going to Rangers games on a Saturday at 3. But aye, anyway, it was on the telly. And the man in your image there, Oscar Cortez, put on the show for Rangers fans. Realistically, it was a really tough watch a lot of the time. It was kind of just a typical cup game. Fringe players obviously playing. Team maybe wasn't as cohesive as it has been under Clement with so many changes at the one time. Ayr obviously putting up a bit of a fight. But it would just felt inevitable we're going to win the game. We eventually get the second goal through Fabio Silva, and that was really it. The Ayr game was kind of just labelled under get through to the next round.
Get through the next round and obviously give some of these new players a chance to get full 90 minutes in their their debuts, their systems. No, I mean, I thought the Colombian boy ripped up, sensational, looked like a quality player. It was just a shame that obviously he had to go off and somehow Scott Wright got a full 90 minutes. I don't really know why Scott Wright's still, as I say, here, but I getting full 90 minutes for us. No, mate, as you say, it was job done, simple enough. But I couldn't help but think we could be using obviously a man like Shanklin. As I say, I'm happy with Fabio. I like Fabio, but some of the chances we created and stuff, I was just thinking, so if we had a real finisher, I think the game would have been a lot more than obviously what it was. And obviously Shanklin got an R2 yesterday, so
Mhm.
I mean, I know I keep going on about the boy, but man, if we had somebody like that, as I say, I just think some of the chances we create, obviously, just think to myself, he would just obviously rip up for us. But I, as I say, obviously an opportunity for some of the new lads to come on. I thought the two of them did well as well. Obviously the boy, but we're definitely signing the summer. I thought he did pretty all right. I thought Jack done decent as well. But aye, overall, mate, it was just a job done kind of game, wasn't it?
And obviously, speaking specifically on Mohamed Diamandi and Oscar Cortez, I thought Cortez, I mean, for the minute the game started, was positive. He hit the post, he had a couple of chances. He obviously got the assist for Barisic. Probably should have got a penalty as well. Really, really strong showing for him. I think the last couple of games he's came on, he's kind of come on the last 20 minutes or so. He's not really affected the game as much for an attacking sense, but he's came on and he's done the job for the team, which has kind of got us over the line in the games. This was his proper like first outing for the start to flourish, and I think he's just totally different from Rabbi Matondo on the left hand side. Rabbi Matondo is explosive. He looks to beat you with pace, but Cortez has got that trickery about him. He's also got the build about him to be able to obviously hold off players as well. And I think for me going forward, I love Matondo, but I think that's Cortez's place to lose for the foreseeable as we kind of go on. Obviously, Matondo's done well in the past couple of games. He scored a couple of goals, but I think just the quality is shown through here with Cortez. Obviously, it's only one game, it's only a couple of sub appearances, but I think in the long run he'll probably be the mainstay there until you've got a guy like Sima back as well. But Diomande as well, just again looks a kind of class above what we have in the midfield. With his kind of dynamism, he's with the play, the touches he takes, the skill really reminds me a lot of Glenn Kamara, but just a bit more forward thinking. And I really liked what I saw for him. And obviously the other new recruit, Fabio Silva. He's just absolutely miles ahead of Cyril Dessers. It's unbelievable, and he's only played a few games. The quality that he's shown again is unbelievable, and another goal to match it. Was a lucky boy though not to get sent off. He had a couple of maybe 50-50 challenges that could have went the other way, but I think his general play was just outstanding again.
No, yeah, again, as I say, I was happy. Obviously, I've got to give credit to Barisic because I know if you don't give credit to players, obviously, cancel coming for you at the comments. But aye, fantastic goal for Barisic. I know obviously Raskin's one that's getting the seems to be getting abuse at the moment or what have you. That's obviously something we don't obviously do that. But I know
Apart from Barisic.
apart from Barisic, you're Scott, right? But I know, listen, fantastic goal. I could never have seen, as I say, Barisic scoring something like that. But I back to Fabio, as I say, just showing all the qualities and you're on about there. Maybe a lucky boy or what have you. I don't think the referee was just looking to give out the cards. You know what I mean? We all know about the ref, but I, as I say, Fabio yet again hit the back of the net. Um, it's just positive, as I say, just to go through, get down to the next round, which is obviously Hibs. So it's a massive game there coming up, and we'll obviously see how we get on with that one.
Nah, obviously it's a tough one going into the quarterfinals, but obviously that draw was made yesterday up at Easter Road. It's always going to be kind of a tough game, but that will take care of itself. Obviously, when it comes around, I think there's still, I think it's about a month to that game, so time to kind of park this cup away again and think about that in the future. But aye, Barisic's goal took it well, to be honest. Although it went through with a deflection, he took it well.
I did see it.
Um, and my only problem is we didn't score.
Enough.
Enough goals. We didn't take enough chances, and that's where I come back to your point that you made at the start there. The clinical striker that I think we probably would have needed, although Fabio Silva's doing a great turn up front and he's scored a couple of goals now. It's the chances that are falling to guys like Lon Shankland and Bojan Miovski. You watch at Hearts and Aberdeen, they just take them. There's only one chance and they take them, and I feel like that's where we really struggle. And that's my kind of worry going into this part of the season now. Because, I mean, Dessler's had that purple patchy one player of the month. He was scoring. He's now not delivered in the last 2 or 3 games. He didn't even see um, the pitch on Saturday, which he was really annoyed about when he was warming up and he told he wasn't going on. He did really sulk and went back to the bench and kind of just
Mm.
aye, that was another one. But he's not delivered against Aberdeen. I thought he had chances again against Livingston as well. He came on, he had a chance. Aberdeen, he had a couple of chances. But I think he's just all round play is so much weaker than Fabio Silva. But I'm kind of still looking to what we could have done in January, bringing in that kind of decisive number nine that would decide games for you, realistically. But we've got the two of them. Kemar Roof, I think, will hopefully be back at some point as well. So that gives you three. God knows how long he'll be actually back for, but that'll give you three strikers, hopefully, to go into the run in way, which is needed. But I think for Fabio Silva, he's one of the first names in the team sheet for me at the moment. These performances, obviously, you spoke about Nico Raskin there as well. I think it's just maybe a case of him nursing his way back in for injury. I think the quality we've seen is there. I actually kind of agree with some people though, thinking right, what does Raskin actually offer us as a player? Because it's something I've actually thought about in the past couple of weeks is like what is his best traits as a player. Obviously, he's good kind of midfield wise, like playing passes in and out and sort of filling in at the back and stuff. But when it comes to attacking sense, he kind of again like most of the midfielders we tend to sign can't really go forward. Like Lundstrom, like Jack, Kamara, obviously back in last season. Diamandi's hopefully going to be a bit different to that, but even Sterling to an extent. But I don't know. I think he's maybe just we're playing decent football and getting results. Somebody has to take the flak for that at some point. So I think Raskin obviously is at the moment, but still firmly in Raskin's corner. I think he's a quality player, and I think it will just hopefully in time when he gets more games and stuff, it will shine through. But there's no kind of debate that he's probably going to be on the bench for the next couple of games because I don't see him kind of winning his space back with the performance that he put in on Saturday.
No, I can definitely, as you say, I can probably see him dropping to the bench, but I just think for me, as you just said there, I think it's just nursing your way back in, obviously, for injury. Different, as I say, with players like Cantwell and what have you, you just know there's a player then, you just want to turn up and deliver, and he is doing that now, which is fantastic, and that's what you want to see, as I say, with asking. I just feel like it is a case of maybe just getting himself fully back up, and also asking the right questions there, probably. What does he bring going forward? I mean, I couldn't really tell you, to be fair. But as I say, was impressed obviously with the boy we've obviously signed there as well, Diamante. I'm impressed with him. There's a lot of competition now obviously in that park, so we'll see who obviously steps up and takes it, as I say. But I was Scott Wright playing a full 90. I just couldn't get over it. I'm sorry I couldn't. If we're going to give MD stick or MD, it's got to be Scott Wright, as I say, man.
I
I
think
just
it's
don't.
maybe just the case of Clement did. I can't remember if Ross McCausland even came on the pitch, but I don't think he
No,
did. I
he
think it's
didn't.
maybe just
He
the
didn't.
case of giving him 90 minutes so he didn't have to play McCausland and
I would
keep
have
him
rather.
fresh.
I honestly, I'd have rather they just kept my Colombian Donny on and I
No,
took him
I
off.
thought that at the time as well when obviously Matondo was getting warmed up. I would have moved Cortez or Matondo out to the right hand side and I would have took off Scott Wright. And I think it's just the issue with Scott Wright is if he's so glaringly the only player in that team that started that's so like below the quality that's required. I think against Ayr again he had moments where he took the ball at pace and looked positive, but it's all just in
That's
the final
that's
parts of his play. It's the cross that never meets the player. It's the shot that's off target. It's the just
that's his
his final
career at Rangers,
product.
isn't it?
Hmm.
That's his career at Rangers. It's just moments. It's not consistent. It's just moments. Do you know what I mean? We know obviously if we make the final, I'll be starting Scott Wright.
Of course.
The only time he turns up, as I say, but it just makes, as I say, obviously giving players minutes and what have you. But I'd have just clicked my Colombian Donny on and I'd have put Matondo or whoever out there. But as I say, it was just getting the job done. Obviously, getting some confidence about the play as well. And going on to Wednesday night.
Aye, of course, it gets you into that draw, and then you're back to league action. Surprisingly for me, when I was looking at this game, the last time we played Ross County was in August. It was under Michael Beale, so for a team Philippe Clement hasn't played yet. Obviously, it was supposed to be on Boxing Day or the day after, I believe, and it get obviously cancelled. It's now 2-0 that day. I believe Tom Lawson had a couple of assists that day, played really well, and Tavernier and Matondo with the goals. So Ross County are under really hard times now. Obviously, managers resigned, Derek Adams, and he can happily go out to Scottish football because he's just an absolute idiot. So I think even Ross County fans will be happy to see him go. But they've had a tough time this season down there with Livingston, St Johnstone, Aberdeen, even at the moment. Um, so they're needing an upturn in form. They're needing to start getting results. But they're obviously coming to Ibrox where we need to win the game as well. And I think this is a team I would go to play that game. I think Yilmaz comes back into the team. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Tom Lawrence, similar to done with Ryan Jack, he left Lawrence out of the game for just kind of managing his minutes, which I think is actually really good management for the gaffer for once, not just throwing players in and letting them play multiple minutes and just stupid sub appearances for no reason. He's managing the players that are obviously nursing injuries and are quite injury prone. So I think Lawrence will come back in with Lundstrom. I liked Tom Lawrence against Aberdeen. I thought he played really well in there. And again, similar to the two midfielders, the sitting midfielders, we don't need more than Lundstrom in there. It needs to be kind of full on attacking to break teams like this down. So I think Lawrence will play. I wouldn't be surprised to see Diomande actually play as well. But I think as we were saying there, I think Raskin has will drop to the bench. And McCausland Cantwell will come back in. I think obviously as we spoke, Scott Wright not required the standard that we need. McCausland has been really good. Obviously since he's came into the squad, Cantwell we didn't even speak on, but I thought again he made a really good sub appearance at the weekend. I think he just looks more confident when he's playing now. He's definitely looking like the player of last season again, so that's obviously a positive. And then I would keep Cortez in, as I said, and Fabio Silva leading the line, but I think that the main positive now is there's so much more competition where you could possibly even pick Barisic in there. You could put Balogun obviously back in. Davies was on the bench, so you've got him coming back. Dujon Sterling, I think, will be suspended for this one. But as I say, you've got Raskin and you've got Jack and stuff. So there's options there. There's players that will probably miss out on the bench as well. But there's enough there to go and beat Ross County, which is going to be, as we say, quite a tough one. Considering they need to bounce back. Obviously, they've got a new interim manager, Don Cowie. They need to bounce back. They need to start getting results. But we need to win this game and hopefully buy a couple of clear goals to go top of the league.
I mean, you just said it there, and obviously it'll be a difficult game, but I'm just hoping we turn up here, and this is a good couple of goals in the back of the net. As you say, Cantwell starting to be the player that we've seen this time last year, which is fantastic. Lawns starting to perform as well, obviously. The competition in there. But for me, this is a game where I'm hoping for a 4 out of 5 here just to make a wee bit of a statement there. As you say. So I mean Yilmaz for me definitely comes back in. I don't think he drops Silver at all. McLaughlin comes back in as well, Lundstrom as well. So as you say as well, it's a squad obviously where players are fighting for obviously their minutes, and that's just as I say, that just shows you the levels the manager obviously coming in as well, and every fighting, striving. As you say with Tom Lawrence as well, you know for a fact under previous managers, Lawrence would have probably maybe came on for like the last 15 and potentially have get injured, and then you're kicking yourself for this game coming up here. So positive for the manager also just to leave him out and watch for the stands. But for me, as I say, Diamante as well, it's a player I'm looking at potentially maybe starting as well. But this game definitely for me has got to be free up. As I say, 4 or 5 or what have you, man. This has got to be a game where we go
Aye.
just make a statement.
Nah, go out there and just play good football, and that's what I'm saying. Like the introduction of Lawrence into that midfield just gives you so much attacking threat to go forward and make that happen. So I'm looking forward to the game on Wednesday. Hopefully, again, it'll be another job done. I think with last week's game against Aberdeen, a lot of people maybe get hung up on the fact that we might go top of the league if we score this amount of goals. Just
Mm.
at first win the game, but
Yeah.
I would like to see some more goals in this one. Against Ross County are obviously been struggling and defensively struggling as well. Some of the goals have lost in some weeks previous have been really poor. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to put out a statement, as you said, and then go into the weekend against St Johnstone away on Sunday, which again always a really kind of tough game. It's really obviously
Tough.
Perth is just poor to go to. St Johnstone are a really annoying team to play, I would say. And the surface isn't great, but hopefully we go in. We just confidence. We keep building and building. I mean, we're winning games all the time, so hopefully that kind of
That's the
keeps
most
continuing.
That's the most important thing, as you see. Obviously, people are getting hung up on it. Might not get many goals we had to score last week, what have you, but as long as we keep winning, that's all we can do. We can only control that. Obviously, as I say, the team can only turn up and play as well as they do and continue to win. But for me, as I say, this game here coming up, I'm looking for the Rangers team to turn around, put 4 or 5 in the back of the net here.
Nah, we need to start showing that we're clinical as
And
well. I mean, as you say, with the amount of chances, I think we had 26
that's what I'm
shots against there and we only scored 2 goals.
That's what I'm saying. If you have somebody like Shanklin there, just imagine many more goals you get there. Do you know what I mean? And as I say, I don't mean to keep going on about him, but it's the only one you can use for example. As I say,
Mhm.
and also you can use the boy for Aberdeen as well. But we all know likely he's no, you can't see that one happening this summer. But I just think if we have a clinical finisher in there, do you know what I mean? We get a couple more goals. But say go on, as long as we keep winning, that's all we can do, man.
No, that's exactly it. So, that was the episode. Hopefully, going to Wednesday, positive game, and then into the weekend with another
I
victory.
I'm no joking here, right? Obviously I was watching the game in the house and what have you. When they brought Fabio for the interview after the game, Stephen Craigan was talking about whatever, and I can't remember what he said to him or something. And Fabio turned around and said, "Oh, it's an honour to hear that for somebody like yourself." I swear to God, Fabio said that to Stephen Craigan. I'm not kidding you. Like,
As Fabio Silva been sitting when he was back
aye,
home watching Stephen Craigan highlights, aye.
aye, thing about I know. No, but as I say, just keep doing what he's doing, man. He's doing well. Obviously, would like to be him a bit more, as I say, clinical. But as I say, fantastic player, and hopefully just keeps it up, man.
Nah, I think just to finish on Fabio Silva, I think with his all round kind of play, it's just what I've wanted to see since obviously we brought in Dessers and Danilo and stuff. I think Danilo does a bit of it, but I think you can see the level that Fabio Silva's played at, and he's obviously had that experience. He's only 21 still. I think a lot of people maybe forget that. Like he's had that amount of experience at this age, and he's coming over here, and I think he's maybe playing some of his most established football, we'll say. Like maybe there was bits to improve at every kind of team, but it looks like he's just playing probably the best he has. He obviously had a good loan spell out in PSV last season as well. So aye, it's
You
getting
just
to the
need
point
to.
where we're falling in love again with another loan player that we're not going to be able to probably get at the
Aye.
end of it. So
That's not the thing. I mean, you just think obviously for him as well, being such a young lad with such a hefty price fee as well, that's got to mentally. Do you know what I mean? You got to be thinking to yourself, right? I've got to perform here and justify the money. But as I say, man, you can tell he's enjoying his football. Obviously, he said that as well. So as I say, it's just happy to see players happy. And as you say, another lone player to fall in love with and break your heart at the end of the season, which is obviously fantastic. So, aye.
Aye, brilliant. So, aye, we'll be back next week with another episode covering the St Johnstone game, and then looking ahead to the game after that, which is Hearts at home, I think, innit? Aye, so we'll be looking ahead to that. So we'll see you then.